हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। निताय गौरांगा निताय गौरांगा, निताय गौरांग गौर हरि। जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद, जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। श्रील हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, पतित पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, हिताये गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं, देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया, भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the Samam Bhonam, chapter number 57, entitled Satrajit murdered and Jewel returned. Text number 41. श्यामन्तकं दरस्यित्वा ज्ञातिभ्यो रज आत्मना विमृज्य मणिना भूय तस्मै प्रत्यर्पयत् प्रभु। श्यामन्तकं दर्शयित्वा ज्ञातिभ्यो रज आत्मना विमृज्य मणिना भूय तस्मै प्रत्यर्पयत् प्रभु। श्यामन्तकं दर्शयित्वा ज्ञातिभ्यो रज आत्मना विमृज्य मणिना भूय तस्मै प्रत्यर्पयत् प्रभु। Shamant, ladies, Mataji. ज्ञातेव्या रज आत्मना विद्यमानिना भूया Shamantakam, the Shamantaka Jival, Darshayatva, after showing, Gnatibhya, to his relatives, Raja, the contamination, Atmanah, falsely heaped upon himself, Vimrijya, wiping away, Manina, with the jewel, Bhuya, again, Tasmai, to him, Akrura, Pratyarpayat, offered it back, Prabhu, the Supreme Lord. Translation and purport by the humble disciples of His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. After the Almighty Lord has shown the Shamantaka jewel to his relatives, thus dispelling the false accusations against him, he returned it to Akrura. For the second time, doubts about the Lord's reputation, occasioned by the Shamantaka jewel, are dispelled by the jewel itself. Indeed, for the second time, the Lord brought the jewel to Dwaraka to establish his integrity there. This amazing series of incidents demonstrate that even when Lord Krishna descends to this world, there is a tendency for his peers to criticize him. The whole material world is inflected by the fault-finding propensity. And in this chapter, the Supreme Lord demonstrates the nature of this undesirable quality. यस्त्वेतद् भगवत ईश्वरस्य विष्णोर् विवृद् वीर्याद्यं वृजिनहरं सुमङ्गलं च आख्यानं पहति शृणोति अनुस्मरेद्वा दुष्कृतं धूरितं अपोययाति शान्तिम्. This is the Falashruti of hearing this particular Shamantaka Mani pastime as narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the last concluding verse of this chapter. Translation. This narration, rich with the descriptions of the prowess of Lord Sri Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, removes sinful reactions and bestows all auspiciousness. Anyone who recites, hears, or remembers it will drive away his own infamy and sins and attain peace. Thus ends the purport of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 57th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Satrajit Murdered, the Jewel Returned. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललितां श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यं जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मोगं करोति वाचालं भङ्गं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपादं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यं ईश्वरं हरि ओं तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. So I feel very, very happy and grateful to the management here through Tuhin Prabhu, getting that opportunity to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is filled with uh, amazing, wonderful, glorious activities and pastimes of Lord Krishna and his devotees. Hearing them, as the Falashruti mentions, it removes one's sinful reactions and bestows all auspiciousness. And this specific experience we can have when we regularly study Srimad Bhagavatam. Hmm. Uh, Study the Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of the devotees under the guidance of the spiritual master. If we regularly study Bhagavatam, we can find a, a great change in our life as we see the sinful reactions get removed and all auspiciousness is being bestowed upon. However, Bhagavatam, along with bestowing such spiritual benefits, it also gives us opportunity to learn many wonderful lessons, as mentioned in the second part of the Falashruti. Uh, Anyone who recites, hears, or remembers this particular pastime of Shamantaka, uh, Shamantaka Jival pastime, it drives away his own infamy and sins and attain peace. In one of the earlier purports, it is mentioned that how those who are serious about spiritual practice and want to be materially anxiety free, they want to practice spiritual life. They must seriously take the lessons which are mentioned in this particular Shamantakamani pastime. It's a crucial. So, and I got the opportunity to conclude this chapter here. uh, so I felt what I can share from this particular, because we heard from many various angles uh, from different devotees about this particular pastime, how it went on. So I remember I the last class which I gave here was a year and a half back, uh, and that chapter what that was going on was Akrura's arrival in Vrindavan. Well, Akrura is arriving in Vrindavan. And now here we see this chapter explains about Akruras brought back to Dwaraka. He ran away from Dwaraka. Uh, because of some uh, very important personal aspects which he felt, Akrura. And Krishna arranged in such a way that he was brought back. So, so here I would like to speak some on aspects related to Akrura, and then we'll see how this chapter speaks about Krishna's amazing way how he dealt with the accusations which came upon him. How Lord deals with him, how Lord deals with his own accusations upon him, and how the devotees deal with their own accusations. Uh, just to give some light on that. Hopefully, this will help us to understand better way how we can take action in our own life when we also experience such accusations in life. Uh, the nature of the material world, as mentioned in this particular chapter, on the purport which we are reading, is that there is a tendency of being. The world is infected by the fault finding propensity. Sometimes we are also part of it. Uh, we also find faults, or we become no victim of the fault finding, and this undesirable quality is prevailing very much o- over this world. So when no one understands, Krishna understands you. When this one no one understands you, it is the only that is the time where Krishna. And not only that is the time, every time he understands you, but that is the time you'll able to relate. Only Krishna understands us. So that a devotee can do this particular step of approaching Krishna and keeping confidence in him. And that's what we see in Akrura's life. Akrura played a very crucial role in changing the lifestyle of Krishna. Is it not? In Bhagavatam, if you see first 35 chapters, I think 35, 36 chapters, explain about Krishna's Vrindavan Leela. And then the shift which happened from Vrindavan Leela to Madhura Leela. Who came in picture? Akrura. So, and without the will of the Lord, it is not possible. And interestingly, the loyalty of Akrura towards Kamsa is doubted by whom? Kamsa himself. Because Kamsa could not no, keep full faith that how can somebody be so loyal to him. See, Kamsa did a lot of heinous activities compared to what we are reading now of the Shamantaka Jival, where Jival ki wajah se, wow, Kamsa did a even big blunder. And that is that time in the Madhura, Akrura was there. Many Yadavas were there. And in that one was Akrura. And many Yadavas had a meeting. And they said, Arey, what type of leader we have? Nonsense fellow. This fellow is doing so many heinous activities, killing children. एक एक को पकड़ के मार रहे, फिर बाद में लड़की हुआ उसके बाद छोड़ दिया, फिर उनको लगा कि कुछ गड़बड़ है, so फिर he ordered to kill all the children outside. It's not that after the Durga appeared, when the uh, she came and tell that already Krishna is born somewhere. She mentioned and went. At that time, it's not that Kamsa relieved Vasudeva and Devaki from the jail and was peaceful. He was not peaceful. He can never be peaceful. He can never be trusted. He is always changing his mind. He ordered to kill all the children in the vicinity of the Madhura then. That time also again. So after this, Yadavas felt very disturbed. How can we remain in that? So many Yadavas left. But Akrura remained there only. Because it's not that he was just an external perspective, you see his loyalty to Kamsa, but actually he remained in order to fulfill the mission of the Lord. Sometimes the pure devotees keep themselves in a materially very what you call not so welcoming situation, what for Akrura was in. And it's not that Kamsa was appreciating him and no caring him. He was doubting his loyalty only. And in order to test actually Akrura, that what Kamsa's plan was, to test his no, how much he is loyal. He sent him only as the messenger, but ignorant Kamsa was not aware of the plan of the Lord. It was Krishna's supreme will by which this arrangement was made, by which Akrura could get the darshan of Lord in Vrindavan. And we see that episode where Akrura arriving in Vrindavan. Many devotees, when they plan to go to Vrindavan Yatra, they read this chapter. Akrura's arrival in Vrindavan. How, with what mood? No? No? As a befitting mood of the sadhaka, it's necessary to learn from Akrura's how he approached Vrindavan, anticipating. And he felt, okay, I am going apparently for the mission of Kamsa, but actually he is fulfilling the mission of Krishna. And whole world will misunderstand him. That he knew. To the extent of Rajavasis cursed him for separating Krishna from them. And he knew that he has to go through the consequences of being, what you call, the, breaking the hearts of the pure devotees. All pure devotees are misunderstanding him, Akrura. Such was the. Still, he continued to be the part of the mission of the Lord. He never gave up. Because he was confident. What he was confident? Even devotees may misunderstand me. If no one understands, Krishna understands. No one understands. Even in that time, Krishna will understand me. Krishna will care. And that's what we see the reciprocation of Krishna with Akrura. And not only that brought a great change, strength, spiritual strength within the life of Akrura, it also brought a drastic change in the life of Krishna. He was like एक गांव की लड़का जब सिटी में आता है पढ़ाई करने के लिए, इट इज लाइक नया, सब कुछ नया है. या फिर इंडिया में जो मान लीजिए आप इंडिया में जब आप रह रहे हैं, आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला अमेरिका जाके पढ़ाई करने का, जॉब करने, इट्स अ चेंज. Like that, Krishna was having a change in his lifestyle. And again, Akrura was brought in by the will of the Lord. When? After the Madhura Leela, after a section of about 10 chapters of Bhagavatam goes with the Madhura Leela. Madhura centered Leela. Okay, all the Madhura related centered Leela. And Dwarka. That is the time where Akrura goes on another mission. What was the mission? To know the evil plans of the Kauravas, headed by Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, to understand what way they are dealing the Pandavas. For that mission he went. Akrura goes and understand the whole situation there. And in fact, not only understands, as a messenger of Lord Krishna, as a Duta, he spoke in front of Dhritarashtra. See, can you imagine? He's not an ordinary Akrura. No? Akrura was not an ordinary person. He was chosen by the Lord. He was chosen by the Lord to do such complicated services, where he will forget about his getting credits, whether he will be believed as a devotee or not. That is the question. Jai Shnitaya Gauranga ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So Akrura was sent for a mission of understanding the evil plans of the. And then later on, he, on behalf of Krishna, the messenger, he instructs the Dhritarashtra that you cannot be evil towards the Pandavas. And such kings who are not careful and showing their care for the his brother's children, he will go through a very sinful uh, reactions. And Dhritarashtra, being a very like diplomatic, he says, yes, Akrura, you are such a great charity, you are a great, you are a person of kind heart. What words I will never forget what you are saying. But क्या कर सकते हैं, बच्चे के प्रति तो मोह होता है, हम प्रयास करेंगे जितना भी हो, देखते how the things get manifested. So then he realized that things are going behind his hands, and that is the time Akrura comes back to Krishna and Balaram in Dwaraka and explains about uh, this how the Pandavas situation. And during that entire things, many things were going on in Hastinapur, planning where Pandavas along with Kunti were sent to the the Varnavat, where the house of Lak they were kept, and they were burnt, and the news came that they had died. All of the Pandavas and Kunti were died. But Krishna Balram made a plan of going to Hastinapur. And that's how you see Akrura's intervention brought another episode in Hastinapur Leela. Krishna's coming in touch. So Akrura played such roles in this particular. Therefore, he is a chosen one. So he can never be misunderstood. But however, Bhagavatam speaks about how such devotees, when they take upon the mission of the Lord, uh, sometimes they go through many types of infamy aspects which are coming. Uh, and through that, you want to show how the devotee responds, how an ordinary person responds, and how Lord responds. Such infamy. That is our main aspect which we are trying to see here. So, in this particular pastime of Shamantaka Jival, which started after Krishna and Balaram left to Hastinapur, uh, we know that the Shamantaka Jival was given to Satrajit uh, by his worshipable Lord Surya. And sun god treated Satrajit as his own friend and gave him. And after getting it, instead of using that Shamantaka for charity purposes, uh, which was for which it was given, because you get some gift now, you should have that what do you call it, qualification also to hold that, use the gift appropriately, and you will be given wealth only when you are qualified, and so that you can be use it for dharma. Instead of doing that, Satrajit, what he was doing, he was wearing that jewel and roaming around in the Dwarka. And this created confusion among Dwarka Vasis. They thought him to be Surya. And then Krishna understood, he's not Surya, he's Satrajit who's wearing. And in fact, Krishna felt, because Satrajit is one of the king in the provinces of Madura and Dwarka. So, so he expected that this should be given to King Ugrasen so that this gift will be properly utilized, where everyone can take benefit of it. No, just wearing and roaming around, and yeah. And he felt I am the owner of it. And he started making a small temple within his palace, within his kingdom, within his palace, and started worshipping it. So he started another worship, new worship. He started new things, taking away people's interest in Krishna. Sorry. In Dwarka, Krishna is the center. But what he was trying to do? Make Shamantaka the center. Another blunder he was trying to do there. So he wanted that jewel to be given to Ugrasen. Lord wanted. But he couldn't, he denied. And later on, under his what promotion he did, advertisement about the Shamantaka, One fellow got attracted. Who was? Prashen. See, attraction to any material thing can take away one's life gradually. Uh, Takes away gradually. And that is this is the real, this story speaks about it. Prashens. He took the jewel and he was going in the forest. And lion appreciated so much the jewel. And the lion wanted to keep the jewel. Although the lion doesn't know how to use the jewel. And it killed Prashen and the horses. And then Jambavan, uh, who actually the king of the forest, with his own hands. Can you imagine? Jambavan with his own hands killed the lion without using any weapons. If lion is the king of the forest, here Jambavan comes and he establishes that he is the king of the forest. And take away the jewel. And Jambavan, being a great devotee of Lord, he is not interested in this jewel or trying to know the benefits of it and try to increase his better property. He felt it's like, ठीक है, उसको लेके अपने बच्चों को खेलने खिलौने जैसे दे दिया है बच्चों को, अपने बच्चे को खिलौने जैसे दे दिया खेलने के लिए. And during this entire thing, Krishna was first time accused. Therefore, here it says second time accused here. This is the second time being accused. The first time is being accused there. That Prashen was murdered. And these all things happened because of Krishna. And this rumor who was spreading around? Satrajit. The infamy. Krishna is being infamed, or you can say it's being criticized by Satrajit. And everyone started believing. That is the problem. Even in association of devotees, if someone gets materially attached and he starts promoting these material aspects as the real success of life, then we see many devotees get distracted. Think they consider, okay, this is the success of life. Let me also follow that path. Let me also be like that. You know, not realizing the importance of pleasing Krishna and serving Krishna. Uh, and everyone started doubting Krishna only. Who was the founder of founder Acharya of the Dwarka? See, they started doubting Krishna only. And Krishna felt it's not very conducive for the spiritual advancement of the people there. They are pure devotees. They need to be protected from such bad environment which is all over there. And in order to protect the devotees, which was always the mission of the Lord, and also remove the unwanted things, Krishna uh, Krishna purposefully went to investigate on this case. He personally investigated. It's a really it's like a flow. You can see that how investigation happens. Krishna personally goes and he finds that Ars and Prashana died, and he sees the lion marks, and following that marks he goes ahead and see lion is killed. And he found the way the lion was killed. He said someone must be there here, so powerful. Without using any weapon, he killed. Then he found a den. He said the Dwarkavasis to remain outside. I will go. Because who will be there, how it will be. Krishna knew that there is Jambavan. After entering, he found that small boy was playing with the jewel. And he thought it is not the act of this small boy. It must be. And that time, the nurse who was taking care of that small boy started shouting, yelling, seeing Krishna. See, anyone who has material possession like Shamantaka, jewel, they get blinded to see the reality. You see, too much material wealth you have, you are blinded to see the reality. Even if Lord and devotees want to show their mercy, still you get confused. And that's what happened with that nurse. She thought this 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 king has come to snatch away the Shamantaka and run, go away. And hearing the cry of that nurse, Jambavan came out. And there is mentioned also, even Jambavan was he gave the jewel as a kilona to the child, but he also got attached to possessing that jewel, which was brightly shining. See, sometimes you don't have to know the nature of the metal attachment fully to get attached to metal things. It is a conditioning nature, no? So you get attached. Uh, More than trying to understand the intricacies of the nature of metal attachment, try to get more in spiritual attachment. Because the complexity of this metal attachment is such a thing that the more you get venture into it, while understanding, you may get more attached also, or you may get more conditioned to it. So our focus should be on spiritual aspect. So we see Jambavan case, he never realized Krishna's identity. But Krishna, considering all the services he has done earlier, he chosen him. Just like Krishna chose Akrura, here Krishna chose Jambavan to be part of his service. What was the service? He wanted to have some pleasure of fighting. So he chose Jambavan to be part of that service. And Krishna for 27 days, it's mentioned 27 or 20, they fought, and in that he was satisfied. Krishna was so happy. Because Krishna became pleased by that mocking fight which had between Jambu and him. So because he was pleased, Krishna revealed his identity to Jambavan. His ignorance, because of that, which was his knowledge, his vision, which was blinded by Shamantaka, now got cleared after getting that service from, after giving that service to Krishna. Therefore, one of the crucial principle we see in our life, even though we have the metal attachment, still continue to the part of the mission of the Lord. Because by being in the mission of the Lord, we find ourselves getting purified over a long run. And in that mission of the Lord will not be pleasing. Because you see, Jambavan, he was very confident that I can handle this guy, this king. But he realized over a period, उनको जो मिल रहे थे blows, no, he could not handle it. He started feeling weak. Strength कम हो रहे थे. He could not handle for a long time. And then Krishna saw that he was really going through pain. With his own hand, he gives a massage. He gives a massage to body of Jambavan and is relieved from all the pain. And Jambavan, out of gratitude for engaging him in the service of Lord himself, Lord Ramachandra, he gave his daughter Jambavati and the jewel back. Now, when Krishna returned, we know that episode where Dwarka Vasis, after they could not wait for a long time, came to in search of, because they already were doubting Krishna. See, once somebody keeps confidence in Krishna, they will wait for years, just like that Puchari ke Lota Baba jaise. They'll wait. They'll wait for Krishna to come. Gopis, they're waiting. For hundreds of years also they're waiting. Okay, Krishna will come. But they could not wait even for, they waited just for 12 days. They waited because they already doubting. Hare Krishna got into all these things and things. And they believed that Krishna, कुछ तो negative हो गया उनके साथ. So they all returned back and informed to the Dwarka, and all of them went to Chandrabhaga Devi, Durga Devi, and prayed. In the meantime, Krishna returned back with the Jambavati and the Shamantaka jewel, and directly went to the court of Ugrasen. He went there, and all devotees were so happy, celebrating the return of Krishna. They were happy. And then Krishna wanted to remove the doubt, which went into the heart of. See, the nature of the doubt is that you don't handle it properly in the association, it will grow. Once you get a doubt, you should handle it in a proper association. And Krishna found that whole Dwarka got corrupted because of our dear Satyajit. So in the court assembly, he called Satyajit to come and related the entire episode, because that what happened, everyone saw, na? So he narrated the entire story and told, take this jewel back. He gave the jewel, and Satyajit felt very guilty of doing such a big rumor. He became the creator of the diversion within Dwaraka. He felt very bad about it. And next day he comes back with a proposal. What is the proposal? He wanted to he wanted to please the Lord. He wanted to not only please the Lord, being a uh, practicing sadhaka, he also wanted to be free from the infame which came upon him. And everyone said, अरे क्या सत्यजीत तुमने क्या कर दिया, तुम्हारे वजह से कृष्ण, उस समय जब कृष्ण नहीं आया कुछ समय तक, उस समय दे स्टार्टेड एक्यूजिंग Satyajit. See, nature of the material world is not that every time you will be glorified by your team. Who thought you to be your team? Huh? They will not always glorify you. There will be places, if something goes here and there wrong, they will point at you only. अरे आप ही गड़बड़ कर दिया. पहले कृष्ण को उंगली दिखा रहे थे, जैसे कृष्ण नहीं दिख रहा है तो सत्यजी के ऊपर उंगली. तो नेचर ऑफ दिस नो फॉल्ट फाइंडिंग इज लाइक दैट. You may say your team is finding faults with him. I am I am saved. No, tomorrow, right? So that is the nature of this world. So in this way, Krishna wanted to remove that aspect completely from Dwaraka. He was concerned. So Krishna then therefore he had this entire court assembly under the direction of the Ugrasen, King Ugrasen. But now Satyajit uh, wanted to please the Lord by offering his own daughter Satyabhama. Here is another problem happened. So this is where another big problem started, which created the second issue. So how a jewel, Shamantak jewel, which has a very, which has the ability to give lot of material benediction, still the Shamantak can create lot of havoc in the association of devotee, in the sangha, in the assembly of in the community, by creating lot of negativity. As mentioned earlier purports, the Shamantak jewel created so much what you call violence, so and infamy of the Lord, and murder of many people. Prashan was killed. And now when Satyajit brought back, no, returned back the Shamantaka money along with Satyabhama, it's mentioned that he had no desire to return it back. And Krishna, considering his heart, he said, okay, keep this jewel with, I have no interest. I got Satyabhama, who is more precious than the Shamantaka. Who is more precious, Satyabhama, having Satyabhama, more precious. So let me have it. You have your Shamantaka, but keep it in the central worship as your worshiping. Keep it so that everyone get the benefit of it. It's mentioned that wherever the Shamantaka is there, that kingdom will remain free from pestilence and famine, drought, and other aspects, any natural disturbances. So, however, there was another interesting aspect we see in Krishna's taking this decision. See, Satya, he was married to Satyabhama, and earlier he was married to Jambavati. So, Jambavati also can feel, अरे ये मेरे पापा की जीवल है, जाम्बवन का जीवल था, पापा ने दिया है ना, शादी में मेरे पिताजी ने दिया है इस चीज को. और सत्यभामा ऑल्सो मैं फील, अरे सत्यजीत को सूर्य भगवान ने दिया, अरे मेरा घर का है जीवन. So he did not want it. Krishna does not want any conflict among his wives because of this jewel. He's very expert in handling. So for this reason, the Acharya mentioned, for this reason, Krishna did not want to have this headache jewel. Keep with you only. However, that is the time Akrura, who was very great associate of the Lord, he felt, Hare, the jewel must be with Krishna only. ये ज्वेल कृष्ण का होना चाहिए, ये सत्यजीत क्या करेगा उसको लेके? My God. So it is mentioned, because of creating what you call disturbance in the heart of the Vrajavasis, he was forced by the providence to be part of a conspiracy. And this conspiracy was to, from Akrura's perspective, the conspiracy was to get the jewel back to Krishna. But in this conspiracy, there were other people, Shatadanva, and other envious kings who wanted to have the hand of Satyabhama. बिकॉज सत्यजीत ने प्रॉमिस किया, बहुत लोग को बोला कि मेरा डॉटर को मैं चैरिटी में सबको दूंगा सर पहले, बट सत्यजीत अभी शादी करवा दिया कृष्ण के साथ, सो सब लोग एनवियस हो गया है. एंड दे सेड हम लोग सत्यभामा भी नहीं मिला, और हम सोचे कि सत्यभामा के माध्यम से हमको श्यामन तक भी मिलेगा. शादी की होता है ना, शादी के बाद ओके हमको नहीं मिला तो हमको बच्चों को मिलेगा, सत्यभामा के माध्यम से जो बच्चे आएंगे उनको मिलेगा. ये कॉन्फिडेंस था ये शतधन्व ये सबके लिए. बट दे फेल्ट दैट वाज नॉट देयर, that opportunity they lost. So they became envious. They started hating Satyajit, and they formed a conspiracy of not only get the jewel back but also kill Satyajit. And in that, two devotees got added in that conspiracy. Who are they? Akrura and Kritavarma. However, Akrura, realizing his mistake in this chapter, what we are hearing from last many days, Akrura realizes, he feels guilty after hearing such words from Krishna about he's still in the when we know that Satyajit is killed, and then Satyajanva comes to take help of Kritavarma, and Kritavarma speaks philosophy. Kritavarma starts relating the power of Krishna in respect to as a Kshatriya king. Because Kritavarma is a disciple of Parshuram. He was the one who was involved in convincing Parshuram to fight with Bhishma in order to give justice to Amba. He always believed in the Kshatriya principles a lot. So therefore he considered, एक कृष्ण के साथ पंगा मत करना, देखा तूने जरासंध को कैसे हार दिया उन्होंने. He started relating all Krishna's powers related to Kshatriya aspect. But when Shatadanva went to Akrura, what is telling that? No, they are supreme personality of Godhead. And you say, as a small boy lifted the Govardhan hill. He had such a power, 7 days, 7 nights, he holded it. And we cannot go against the will of the Lord, Krishna. It's not. And I can't support you that. So that time Shatadanva gave the jewel in hand of, thinking that Shatadanva felt it is my jewel, अभी मेरे फ्रेंड के हाथ में रखूंगा. So and then he started running away, and then we see Krishna killed him, and then he returned back to Dwarka without jewel. But he knew very well the jewel is with Akrura. And he told this to Balaram, but Balaram did not believe it. Balaram बोला ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. नहीं उनके पास ही है. When he returned back, it is Krishna's arrangement. We have to see here very important thing. It's Krishna's arrangement, Acharya has mentioned. By his own arrangement, he made the entire Dwaraka filled with natural disturbances. So that all Dwarkavasi starts believing that because of absence of Akrura, the whole situation is like that. And they will come to Krishna and requesting him to get back Akrura from Dwaraka, to Dwaraka from Kashi. And it is Krishna's arrangement. And Krishna then he agreed. Okay, ठीक है, आप लोग बोल रहे तो मैं लेके आऊंगा. And Krishna received him with great honor as a pure devotee is expected to get. However, Krishna wanted to tell Akrura. He got into this conspiracy. Dekho, all these complications have been put. However, you are best using this jewel, Shamantaka, properly. Use it properly. But for my the infamy which brought on upon me, the second accusation which came upon me, is because you are hiding the jewel with you. Show it to everyone that you have the jewel. So then that time Akrura realized it is mistake. Then he showed the jewel to everyone and he wanted to return to Krishna, but Krishna said, keep with you only. Everyone takes benefit. So in this way, Krishna was very careful of removing the doubt in the minds and the hearts of the Dwarkavasis. And for that, he summoned back Akrura uh, through this particular arrangement which he made. And Akrura realizing his mistake, from then onwards, we see, being a pure devotee, Akrura never got into any conspiracies. But we see Kritavarma, however, uh, was continued to get into further conspiracy. He was involved with the killing of Abhimanyu out of the six. He was the one who was involved in the plan made by Dronacharya. And he was the one who was there even killing the sons of Draupadi when Ashwadhama went to kill Draupadi. He was there that time. However, Akrura being chosen person, he was careful not to get in such complication. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki